Hello everybody, welcome to my bullet journal setup video. This is my bullet journal here. I've been bullet journaling since 2015, my freshman year of college, and it has been a life changer. I've tried other organization systems and quickly went back to my bullet journal. Something about having to slowly write down the things I do. Also, decorating my bullet journal is quite therapeutic, and having something physical where I can organize my tasks has been key for all of my successes. So thank you, bullet journal. You have carried me throughout life. Most recently, this is the bullet journal I use, and I used to use dot journal notebooks, but now I use a 6-ring binder with dot grid paper, and I love this system so much more because I can move paper around and easily take paper out for the pages that all of a sudden you get the ick and you don't like them anymore. Before we get started, I'm gonna give a little bit of context of what journals I use. So this one here is my bullet journal. This is where I keep track of all my tasks, lists, notes, events coming up, that kind of thing. This here is a moleskin lined notebook, and it's really thick. It has like 400 pages. This is my journal where I write down all my thoughts and work through any roadblocks in my head and reflect on my life. This one's more like a diary compared to the other notebooks. Other two notebooks I have are also moleskins. They are smaller ones. They have blank pages, and these notebooks I write down anything that comes to mind. If I'm just thinking of an idea and I want to see it on paper, so for example for my bullet journal layout, I was trying to visualize what kind of different layouts I wanted to try, so I quickly sketched them out in this notebook, as you can see right here. So this one here is for all my side hustles, all my creative ideas, and then this blue one here is for work. So I'll take notes while I'm reading my emails in this notebook. I'll write down any ideas, sketch out any concepts that I need to visualize. I just really like doing it on paper because it forces me to slow down. My brain moves pretty fast normally, so sometimes it's hard to keep up. I'll have everything I can find linked down below. I'm pretty sure you could get everything here from Amazon. Let's get started with the bullet journal setup, and I hope you enjoy. I usually don't plan my bullet journal layouts, but since I was filming, I brain dumped a general outline into my brain dump notebook here. When I first opened up my bullet journal, I have some scrapbooking materials I keep here. First, I have a few sticker sheets. I highly recommend getting stickers for your bullet journal, especially seasonal ones. It is the biggest mood booster. This chore sticker sheet here was actually a prototype created by me that may or may not make its way to my future Etsy shop. Moving this paper aside, I have brown color dividers that divide my bullet journal up into each month. August, September, October, November, and now it is December. These are my favorite pens to use. I use a Muji 0.38mm and a Faber-Castell, hopefully I'm saying that right, Pitt Artist Pen in size F. I also usually use Tombow brush pens, but I don't have that with me right now since I'm at my parents' home for the holidays. However, I did dig up this random assortment of markers from my old bedroom, so I tested them out and decided that the blue-gray color would be fitting for the month of December. I usually only use one color per month. The best part of having a 6-ring binder bullet journal instead of a pre-binded journal is that I can take pages out and freely write on them without worrying that the binding will get in my hand's way. I can only imagine this is even more handy for my lefties out there. It's hard to tell on camera, but I'm using dot grid paper that is A5 in size and 6-hole punched. Starting off with the cover page to December, I wanted to have a quick little festive sketch, so I looked up some pineco illustrations on Pinterest for inspiration, and I found this one that I thought was really cute. I start off by using pencil to outline the sketch. That way it's easy to erase and adjust as needed. Next, I'm going in with my Faber-Castell Pitt Artist Pen to create a darker outline, and I go in with my Muji 0.388mm to add some details. With my marker color of the month, I create the background heading for my Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday for the monthly calendar. I really like looking at calendars that start with Monday. To me, it doesn't make sense in my head when the week starts with Sunday. So that's also what I like to do with my bullet journal. Next, I'm whipping out that flexi ruler. We all had these in middle school. We all thought it was the coolest thing ever. Next, I am building out my monthly calendar. I also like to have one of these calendars so that I can visually plan out my events and appointments throughout the month. I like to decorate these little squares for festive holidays and also record my periods. I start out here by drawing 5 horizontal lines to divide up the rows, and I added the daily headings at the top. I decided to go with a cursive font to switch up from the all caps print title. And then I went back and I thickened the downward strokes to make it look a little bit more like calligraphy. Next, I went in to add the days of each week. I messed up a little bit, so I turned it into a leaf garland and realized I didn't like that, messed up some more, and I didn't have whiteout on hand. So this is where we get creative. I decided to rip up some paper and paste it over the mistakes, but also give it a little bit of a scrapbooky look. I'm using this Muji glue tape, which I highly recommend. I just roll this on the back of the pieces of scrap paper, and it basically instantly becomes a sticker. That is the first page that is going into my bullet journal. On the next page, I need to make the second half of my calendar. So on the left-hand side, I have Monday through Thursday, and on the right-hand side, I'm going to make Friday through Sunday. Do a very similar thing. I title the top 2020 to mark the year, draw my 5 horizontal lines, and go back in to create my cursive headings. Similarly, I'm thickening the downward strokes to make it look a little bit more like calligraphy. You'll notice I have a little bit of extra room on the right hand side of this piece of paper, and this is where I create my goals column. On a monthly basis, I like to set up my goals. So here I'm just creating a bullet point list of everything I want to accomplish this month. For example, some of the things I have on here is getting monetized on YouTube, so give this video a like if you're enjoying it. Launch my Etsy shop, read at least 2 books, write a book report, and so on. Next, I always create a monthly wish list in my bullet journal. I went back with my marker color of the month to create a heading, then I labeled it into 3 columns: item, date, and rating. In the first column, I write down anything that comes to mind that I realize I need to buy or that I want to buy. In the date column, I write down the date that I place this item on my list. And in the rating column, I rate it out of 3 hearts how badly I need it. I absolutely love this wish list. It has cured me of impulse purchases. Every time I feel urged to buy something, I'll put it on this list, and sometimes after I write it down, I feel like I don't want to buy it anymore, and other times it gives me a good idea on how much money I'm looking to spend on stuff that month. So right now I have a Canon lens cap cover on the wish list because I lost my camera lens cap cover. I added a camera handheld tripod and also a Christmas sweater because I don't own any Christmas sweaters. I titled this my monthly reflection. Start off with my finances. To make this heading stand out a little bit more, I decided to put a box on it with a little bit of a drop shadow that I shaded with some diagonal lines. Then in my finances table, I have 4 columns: week, date, account, and amount. I go to this page at the beginning of each week to record how much money I have or have spent in each of my accounts. So I have my checkings account, savings account, 401k, Roth IRA, Robinhood, Amex card, Visa card, ESPP, my company's stock. And I repeat this 4 times over for the 4 weeks in a month. Added a horizontal line to emphasize the heading, and that is my setup for my finances page. On the back of this page, I also wanted to record some data relating to my social media growth, so I titled this social media. I'm largely on 3 main platforms. One is Instagram. I left space to record how many posts I make this month, any notes of photos that did well or that I really enjoyed creating, and also a graph of my follower count. Unfortunately, followers is the only clear-cut metric for social media platforms. I wish there was a better way to measure it, but as of right now, follower count is a large determinant of what brand deals you can get and how big you can scale your platform to be. I also created it for Tik Tok and for YouTube, and then at the right-hand side, I just left room for notes to write down any ideas that come up. On the next page, we are continuing with the monthly reflection, and this is where I like to reflect on my life. I learned this exercise from the book Change Your Brain, Change Your Life, and I'm just starting it this month, but I want to reflect on each of these areas in my life, what the ideal version of me would want in each department. So I have what I hope for my relationship with my spouse or significant other, my future children, my extended family, and my immediate family, my friends, and then next category is work, who I want to be at work. Next is money, I have short-term and long-term goals. And the final category is self, where I want my body, mind, and spirit to be. I really like this goal setting method because the goal are not external accomplishments, but are more value-based. So instead of saying I want to reach 1,000 followers, I want to read 2 books, I'm writing more about who I want to be. I want to be a kind person. I want to be a hard worker. I think it's healthy to have a mix of both types of goals. Here, I'm making my weekly layout. So at the top, I wrote this week out in all caps, and I also left room to record the dates. The first section is titled Things to Do in my cursive font, and this is where I task dump anything I have to do for that week. On the right-hand side, I write down each day of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I group Saturday and Sunday together to weekend. I also number it 1 through 3 so that I can write out my top 3 tasks for each day. This way I can move things from my task dump into each day. On the next page, I'm working on my daily layout, so I create one of these layouts on each day. At the top, in all caps, I leave room to write the date. The first thing on the left-hand side is a timetable. Sometimes the time changes, but lately my goal has been get up at 7 a.m., so I have my timetable start at 7 a.m. On the right-hand side, this is the biggest hack in my life to being productive, actually getting my to-do list done. I write out my top 3 priorities for the entire day, my top 3 things to do before noon, my top 3 things to do before 6 p.m., and then at the end of the day, I write down my top 3 accomplishments. Sometimes I also write down a section of top 3 things to do before 10 p.m., and this might be working out or a video call that I have with a friend. And other days, I leave the time after work open-ended without plans. And it's refreshing to have a balance of both. At the bottom, I also left some room for reflection. I'm asking myself, I have the prompts, what went well today? And what could have improved. I left some room for notes, so anything that comes up, any questions, any learnings, any ideas that day, I have some room to write it down. And that is my bullet journal layout. Here is a quick flip through for the month of December. Of course, I'll create the weekly page at the beginning of each week and also a daily page every day. I like to leave it to do at the beginning of the day rather than doing it all in one sitting, because for me, writing my bullet journal is a great way to warm up to work in the mornings. That is my bullet journal setup for the month of December. I really love the cover page I did for the month of December. For the monthly layout, this is the first time I use cursive for the day headings. And I don't know if it's my favorite. I don't have really any strong feelings. I also ran out of whiteout, so I had to block some mistakes with some scrap paper that I found. And then for the weekly and daily layout, that's no different. So that's pretty typical. The other stuff, I try to get a little fancy and don't know if it executed well, but it was still fun and I'm still going to use it. Thank you for watching. I hope this bullet journal video helped you out. Let me know in the comments below if you use a bullet journal or planner, what kind of system you use. Maybe you use a digital system. I love hearing about people's organization systems, so enlighten me in the comments. Also hit the like button if you enjoyed the video and subscribe if you want to stay for more. Thanks for watching. Bye!
Young age, trying to make it big. Now that I'm up, they all on my dick. No contractors, never thrown a brick. Just trying to keep it cool like it's ice on my wrist. God-given talent, been feeling blessed. Kept it 100 like an Asia's math test. Balling all day, I got it on lock. The way I'm flexing on them, you can call me the Rock.